Have you ever felt that reality might hold more than what your senses can capture? Moments that seem too uncanny, too perfectly aligned, to be dismissed as mere coincidence. What if I told you that another version of yourself, an alternate you from a parallel world, could be attempting to send you a message? Think about it: unexplained déjà vu, vivid dreams that linger, or unsettling synchronicities that feel charged with meaning. These could be subtle signals from another dimension of your being, crossing into this reality. Both science and metaphysics suggest that multiple versions of you exist, each following a distinct path across the vast expanse of the multiverse. But what if the barriers between these realities are not as fixed or impenetrable as we once assumed? Today, we dive into the clues that your parallel self might be reaching out. Parallel universes and the multiverse theory draw from both scientific thought and metaphysical insight, proposing that our world is merely one of countless realities. A parallel universe is described as a self-contained dimension existing alongside ours, where people, events, and circumstances may unfold in ways both familiar and drastically different. Each universe functions independently, yet often operates under similar laws of physics. The multiverse theory expands this idea, suggesting that an infinite number of universes exist, each representing alternate outcomes for every possible decision or event. Within this framework, there are countless versions of you, each living along unique life paths in alternate dimensions. For instance, in one universe you may have accepted a different job or moved to another city, setting off a completely divergent path for that version of yourself. Theoretically, these alternate selves could influence or even communicate across dimensions, manifesting in phenomena like déjà vu or striking synchronicities. In essence, the multiverse theory implies that every choice you make branches into a new reality, creating another version of you who experiences life through a distinct lens. In quantum mechanics, the phenomenon of quantum entanglement reveals how two particles can become so profoundly linked that the state of one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. This bond is instantaneous, implying that information can traverse space without being limited by physical separation, surpassing conventional boundaries. If particles can remain connected across such vast stretches, it raises the idea that consciousness or energy might also link us to our parallel selves across dimensions, enabling communication that defies physical laws. Similarly, string theory provides another scientific basis for this possibility. According to the theory, the universe is composed of tiny vibrating strings that function in more dimensions than the familiar 3, up to 11 in certain models. These additional dimensions could contain the answers to how alternate realities intersect or overlap. If consciousness, energy, or thought vibrates at different frequencies, it might extend into those higher planes, making brief contact with versions of ourselves existing in parallel universes. From a metaphysical perspective, energy and consciousness are not restricted by the material world. It is often believed that our awareness can access higher planes through deep meditation, focused intention, or heightened intuition. Much like radio waves transmit invisibly across immense distances, consciousness could act as a frequency capable of tuning into alternate versions of ourselves. When you find yourself especially aligned, through intuition, dreams, or meaningful coincidences, you may actually be receiving communication from another you living in a different realm. These combined insights from science and metaphysics suggest that although we are rooted in this reality, our mind, energy, and consciousness might move fluidly across dimensions, exchanging information with parallel versions of ourselves. For example, repeatedly noticing the same numbers, such as 1111 or 333, is often viewed as synchronicity, an uncanny alignment that feels too deliberate to dismiss. Precise yet seemingly random, these repeating numbers often appear as if by chance, but within the framework of parallel universes, they could be subtle signals sent from another version of yourself attempting to reach across dimensions. Often called angel numbers or master numbers, they are believed to carry distinct energetic frequencies. In metaphysical traditions, certain numbers are viewed as symbols of universal patterns or cosmic guidance. When you repeatedly encounter the same numbers, it may be understood as a form of direction, a gentle nudge from the universe, or in this case, from a parallel self seeking to connect. If different versions of you exist in alternate realities, it's possible that they are moving through similar emotions, lessons, or experiences. Repeated numbers could serve as resonance points, where your life and that of your parallel self momentarily align. For instance, the sequence 1111 is commonly interpreted as a sign of awakening or alignment with higher truth. In the context of parallel realities, it may signal that another version of you is standing at a similar crossroads, and the number appears to draw your shared awareness to this moment. It becomes a call to examine your thoughts, intentions, or actions, suggesting you and your alternate self are advancing toward comparable goals or transformative stages. The number 333 is frequently associated with creativity, growth, and balance. Seeing this sequence could imply that your parallel counterpart is undergoing a period of inspiration or working toward equilibrium, sending a message for you to focus on those same areas. It might indicate a shared theme or lesson unfolding simultaneously across dimensions. Imagine that the thoughts and energies of your parallel self vibrate at a particular frequency, and when that vibration intersects with your own, it manifests as repeating patterns like numbers. These signals grab your attention, functioning almost like beacons, to steer or communicate with you. In these brief moments of synchronicity, it's as if both versions of you exist in harmony, the numbers acting as markers of connection. By noticing and acknowledging them, you begin to access the shared wisdom and overlapping experiences of yourself across realities. Though these signals may not provide immediate answers, they hint that something meaningful is at play, something your parallel self wants you to notice. According to the multiverse theory, countless versions of you are living out diverging choices, yet certain universal themes, emotional, spiritual, or psychological, can transcend those divides. When an experience in your current reality resonates with one unfolding in a parallel life, synchronicities can emerge, signaling that your paths are briefly converging. These moments become energetic echoes, messages from another you, urging awareness and reflection. The symbols may act as catalysts, pushing you toward an insight, decision, or realization that mirrors what is simultaneously unfolding for your parallel self. In this sense, synchronicities are not random accidents but cosmic breadcrumbs, guiding you to align with higher truth or a more authentic path. Imagine repeatedly hearing an uncommon name over several days. You meet someone with that name at a cafe, hear it in a song, and then notice it glowing on a billboard. In this reality it may seem like coincidence, but perhaps your parallel self is encountering someone or something tied to that name with great significance. That synchronicity could suggest the person will soon play an important role in your life, or that an event linked to the name carries meaning across both dimensions. Similarly, consider noticing butterflies everywhere. You glimpse one in your garden, then on the cover of a book, and later on a necklace in a store. In this reality it seems random, yet in another, your parallel self may be experiencing a transformation symbolized by the butterfly, its presence echoing into your world as a shared sign of change. Butterflies are often symbols of transformation, and their sudden appearance may reflect that your parallel self is undergoing a major life shift or personal metamorphosis. The synchronicity nudges you to recognize changes unfolding in your own world, hinting that you may also be approaching a breakthrough or transition that mirrors what your alternate self is experiencing. Imagine missing your bus to work twice in the same week, only to unexpectedly meet an old friend both times. The odds of such an event seem unlikely, but in a parallel universe your other self may have reconnected with that same friend under entirely different circumstances. The synchronicity of these encounters signals that reconnecting could carry significance for your present path, just as it does for your alternate self. Consider hearing the same piece of advice from multiple people in a short span, perhaps unrelated voices all urging you to trust your intuition or take a leap. In another dimension, your parallel self might be at a crucial turning point, weighing a decision, and this repeated message could be the encouragement they need to move forward. As the same guidance emerges in your reality, it may also indicate that you are being guided to make a similar choice. Sometimes synchronicity appears in dreams. You may dream of an unfamiliar place, only to see that exact location the next day on television or overhear it mentioned in casual conversation. In this case, your parallel self may be living in or visiting that location, and the dream acts as a clue that your realities are momentarily intersecting. Such dreams can be seen as messages from another version of yourself, inviting you to pay closer attention to the symbolism behind the place or event. Trusting your intuition is vital. If something feels significant or keeps repeating, it is rarely random. Intuition often recognizes connections that the conscious mind overlooks. Random thoughts, stray memories, or sudden urges to behave in ways that seem unusual may feel disjointed, but within the context of parallel universes they could actually be influences from your alternate self living a different reality. This perspective suggests that consciousness itself may be fluid, with experiences from one reality seeping into awareness in another, subtly shaping choices and actions. The notion that consciousness transcends time and space proposes that all versions of you remain linked in an intricate web of shared experience. When your parallel self makes a pivotal choice or undergoes transformation, ripples may spread outward that you can sense intuitively. This could manifest as unexpected thoughts or memories connected to their journey, prompting you to act in ways that mirror their choices. For example, you may feel a sudden desire to reach out to an old friend or take up a hobby you never previously considered. These impulses may reflect decisions your parallel self is actively making, such as exploring a new career or rekindling a relationship, and in turn, they encourage you to align with similar paths. Think of those moments when you find yourself reminiscing about experiences that seem oddly detached from your current life. Such memories may be echoes from another dimension, fragments of a life your parallel self has lived. If you suddenly remember your long-forgotten passion for painting, it could mirror a choice your alternate version has made to embrace creativity, serving as a prompt to engage once more with art for fulfillment in this reality. Likewise, sudden urges to act in unfamiliar ways, such as traveling to a place you have never visited or pursuing a demanding challenge, may also be signals from another you. These impulses can represent influences from a parallel self, guiding you toward opportunities of growth and discovery that reflect choices unfolding in a different dimension. When you notice sudden desires rising within you, urges that feel unexpected or out of place, these may serve as signals, guiding you toward new directions that mirror the choices your parallel self is making. Such impulses invite you to step outside your comfort zone, exploring uncharted paths that resonate with your deeper potential. The idea that your parallel self can influence your thoughts and actions is closely tied to transformation. When thoughts or urges appear seemingly from nowhere, they may reveal an inner push toward change. If another version of you is undergoing a significant shift, letting go of limiting beliefs, embracing a new identity, or moving through a personal breakthrough, those ripples may influence you as well. These unexplainable thoughts then become gentle nudges, guiding you toward a similar journey of growth and renewal. To work with these experiences, pause and observe. When you have a random thought or impulse, don't dismiss it immediately, sit with it, and ask if it resonates with any decisions or feelings you've been considering. Reflect on resurfacing memories. Are they linked to experiences you want to revisit or lessons you feel drawn to learn? Writing them down in a journal can bring clarity and uncover hidden connections. Likewise, rather than ignoring sudden urges, embrace them. Try new activities, reconnect with people, or pursue interests that may seem unfamiliar but intriguing. By recognizing that these thoughts and desires may stem from your parallel self, you gain deeper insight into your own longings and possibilities. This awareness encourages you to embrace the complexity of your existence, acknowledging the interplay between different versions of yourself as you navigate your unique path of growth. Dreams, long a source of fascination for humanity, have often been seen as mysterious windows into the subconscious. Yet within the framework of parallel universes, dreams may also act as portals into the lives of your alternate selves. When you dream of living a life different from your waking reality, it may not be pure imagination but instead a glimpse into another dimension where a parallel version of you is making distinct choices. Many people describe dreams that place them in unfamiliar circumstances, residing in another city, working in a different career, or even living with an entirely different identity. These visions may reflect the realities of your parallel selves, showcasing paths they have taken and experiences they are living. For instance, dreaming of being a celebrated artist in a thriving city might reveal the life of a version of you who embraced creativity and artistic expression, achieving inspiration and fulfillment in ways your waking self has not yet explored. The subconscious mind plays an extraordinary role in accessing information that lies beyond conscious awareness. Acting as a bridge between realities, it can transmit experiences and messages from parallel selves into your dreams. In the dream state, your mind is less bound by the restrictions of this reality, opening the door for interdimensional communication. Through this channel, insights, emotions, and lessons from alternate versions of you can flow into your awareness, subtly influencing your waking life. Dreams where you revisit past relationships, decisions, or places may reflect parallel selves exploring the consequences of those very choices. For example, if you dream of returning to your childhood home or reconnecting with an old friend, it might signify a parallel version of you navigating similar paths. Such dreams serve as invitations for reflection, encouraging you to consider how those choices affect your present journey. Dreams that reveal outcomes divergent from your current reality, such as becoming a successful entrepreneur, pursuing a creative lifestyle, or embarking on adventures across distant lands, highlight the vast possibilities existing within your potential. These glimpses remind you of what could be achieved here, should you align yourself with similar choices. Likewise, if you encounter dreams centered around unresolved conflicts or ongoing challenges, they may signify that your alternate selves are grappling with those very struggles in their dimensions. Such dreams provide an opportunity for insight, revealing how challenges are mirrored across realities, and offering lessons that can aid your growth in this life. When parallel selves are facing similar struggles, your dreams may act as a call to action, urging you to address issues in your waking life that require attention, resolution, or growth. By engaging with these challenges in the dream state, you may gain insights that later influence your decisions in this reality. Dreams often communicate through symbols and metaphors, and encountering particular images, like keys, doors, or mirrors, may point to opportunities for growth or transformation that resonate with what your alternate selves are experiencing. For instance, dreaming of unlocking a door could symbolize new opportunities opening before you, reflecting the choices your parallel selves are stepping into. Beyond dreams, peculiar events in daily life, those moments that feel like glitches, can leave you questioning the solidity of reality itself. Strange occurrences such as objects seeming to shift position, timelines behaving oddly, or people recalling events differently than you remember may hint at the subtle influence of parallel dimensions. This perspective suggests that reality may not be as rigid or linear as it appears, but instead shaped by overlapping experiences from other versions of yourself. These reality glitches can manifest in many ways. Perhaps you notice something in your room moved without explanation, or recall hearing a conversation that later seems to contradict itself. Such anomalies feel disorienting, as though the fabric of reality has briefly frayed. Within the lens of parallel universes, these oddities may represent moments when the experiences of your alternate self intersect with your own. Even time itself may not be as fixed as we assume. Many people report sensations of time stretching, compressing, or slipping altogether. A day might feel unusually long, or hours may vanish without notice. These experiences can signal that your parallel self is navigating a different timeline, and as the boundaries between timelines overlap, you briefly feel the effects of those shifts in your own reality. When these glitches occur, consider them invitations from your parallel self, subtle signals encouraging you to pay closer attention. They may not be random, they could be signs that something important is taking place. For instance, finding an item that appears suddenly without explanation may symbolize a decision or realization your alternate self is wrestling with, and its appearance serves to draw your attention to a similar matter in your own life. Reality glitches may also appear as moments of alignment, when everything seems to fall perfectly into place or you are struck by a sudden surge of inspiration. These sensations could be your parallel self guiding you toward a path they have already embraced, offering encouragement to trust your intuition and take action aligned with your truest desires. At times, these shifts may even carry vital information. Déjà vu, for example, may signal that your alternate self has lived through a similar experience, and the feeling of repetition becomes a channel through which their lessons and insights are shared with you. Other glitches can reveal themselves in mysterious ways. Perhaps you notice a picture frame or object you distinctly remember in one place suddenly resting somewhere else. This shift may not simply be coincidence, but instead symbolize a change in perspective or highlight an unresolved matter your alternate self has already confronted, urging you to face it in your own life. Or perhaps you're moving through your day when you realize you've inexplicably lost an hour, or notice that conversations or actions around you appear to repeat. Such twists in your perception of time may act as synchronicities, encouraging you to pause, reflect, and ensure that your choices are leading you toward outcomes aligned with the positive paths embraced by your parallel selves. Conflicting memories are another example. You may distinctly recall an event unfolding in one way, while others insist it happened differently. These dissonant recollections could reflect the overlap of multiple realities bleeding into your awareness, leaving you with impressions from both your life and the experiences of your parallel selves. While unsettling, these moments may serve as powerful reminders that your reality is part of a larger tapestry, woven together by countless dimensions where alternate versions of you are making choices, learning lessons, and subtly influencing your journey here. Imagine sitting with a group of friends reminiscing about a past trip, only to realize that everyone recalls the experience differently. Each person remembers distinct events or conversations that others do not. This shared discrepancy could be more than a lapse in memory, it may indicate that alternate realities are subtly shaping your collective experiences. The differences in recollection suggest that the memories you hold may also reflect lessons learned from your parallel lives. What seems like a simple inconsistency can, through the perspective of parallel universes, reveal profound insights into existence and the interconnected nature of reality. At first, reality glitches may appear as nothing more than oddities, small anomalies that spark curiosity but are easily dismissed. Yet when you choose to see them through the lens of parallel universes, they become powerful reminders that reality is fluid and layered. These glitches can be interpreted as subtle messages from your alternate selves, nudging you toward greater awareness of your journey. Each one serves as a reminder of the infinite possibilities that surround you, encouraging you to remain present, observant, and receptive to signs that may guide you closer to your authentic path. By acknowledging these moments instead of brushing them aside, you open yourself to a deeper connection with your parallel selves and to the wisdom they offer. One powerful way to become more attuned to messages from your parallel self is to strengthen your intuition through visualization. Visualization is a practice that taps into the subconscious mind, creating pathways that allow insights and energies from other dimensions of yourself to flow into your awareness. To begin, find a quiet, comfortable space where you can sit undisturbed for several minutes. Close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Take slow, deep inhalations and exhalations, allowing your body to relax and your mind to clear. As your breath deepens, feel yourself settling into stillness, ready to connect. Next, bring to mind the image of two versions of yourself. Picture yourself standing face to face with another you, a parallel version existing in a different reality. Imagine this alternate self in detail. What clothes are they wearing? What expression do they hold? What environment surrounds them? Allow the image to become as vivid as possible. Then, create an energetic connection between you. Visualize a glowing beam of light stretching from your third eye, the space at the center of your forehead, to the third eye of your parallel self. See this light forming a bridge, a luminous thread linking your awareness with theirs. Once this connection feels steady, silently ask your parallel self a question. It could be as open-ended as, "What message do you have for me?" Or "What do I most need to know right now?" Remain still, receptive, and patient. Notice any subtle impressions that arise, an image, a word, a phrase, a physical sensation, or simply an emotional shift. Even if what comes through seems vague or unclear, trust that it carries meaning. Messages from your parallel selves often arrive softly, bypassing logic to touch the deeper layers of intuition. When you sense that the exchange is complete, gently bring yourself back. Take a few steady breaths, feeling your body reconnect with the present moment. Slowly open your eyes, grounding yourself once more in your waking reality. Carry with you any insights, symbols, or impressions you received during the visualization. Over time, with practice, this technique can heighten your sensitivity to the subtle guidance of your parallel selves, helping you navigate your own path with greater clarity, trust, and alignment.